Today's video is going to be about one of my favorite trucks that I own. It is my F750 Power Stroke diesel. It is a 2020. I did buy it used. I bought this private sale and it only had 4,000 miles on it. So it was essentially brand new when I bought it. And this truck, just some quick facts about it. Obviously it's diesel. It is a CDL truck. It is rated for 33,000 pounds. The combination rating is 50,000 pounds for this truck. So I do have a 20-ton share track with air brakes that I hook up to it, and I can actually haul 2 skid steers with this thing legally. We have air to the rear here, obviously air brakes, pintle hook. I got a nice backup camera there that shoots down and actually can see my pintle. That way I don't have to get out of my truck. I can go right to my trailer. Just some quick things that I do like about this truck. Obviously it's extremely attractive, very noticeable driving down the road. I think it's honestly the best looking truck I probably have. Not a lot of people have these just for how expensive they are. I know I spent like $115,000 on this. It's definitely worth it to me. I mean, a lot of my company's business is trucking stuff. So obviously the looks is awesome. Obviously the tires are massive. It's not like a 550 tire. These are legit heavy duty tires on this. This is a legit truck. You know, it's stepping away from the, you know, 550 grade, more like a medium duty truck. Can kind of compete with the smaller Kenworths and smaller Peterbilts of the world. One thing I do like, I have these nice cubbies on each side. Can put some tools and some motor oil, fluid, stuff like that for all the equipment. I leave it in there. Hydraulic dump body. I do like the electric tarp that I have here. Obviously push the button, tarp comes down for you. None of my other trucks have that, so it's obviously really nice to have this. I have not used this yet. I bet you that would come in handy on some certain occasions. I love the wheel wells. Obviously these are a must, especially if you're driving in the winter. The salt right down, which is great. There's things that I don't like on the outside here. I'm not really sold on this Bebo body. So basically it's a 8-yard body when it's freighted, and the problem that I have with this Bebo body here is it weighs so much. So I went to actually weigh myself the other day, and I had 8 yards of gravel in this thing, and I was thinking to myself like, oh, I'm probably, you know, 37,000 pounds or something like that. I ended up going to the scale and I ended up weighing like 41,000 pounds. Let's see how much this truck weighs loaded. It's rated for 33,000. We're slightly more than that. Something crazy like this. So I was like, wow, I definitely can't be putting 8 yards in this legally. So this body is so heavy duty, and obviously it's going to last a long time. That's great, but I think I'd almost rather have a lighter body. That way I could save a little on the weight, because when this truck's empty, it weighs like 17,000 pounds, which is absolutely ridiculous. I'd like to be closer to maybe like 15,000 pounds or so. Another thing that I can't stand about this body, it's not a barn door. So a lot of what we do on our hardscape jobs is moving pallets around. Pallet from job to job or from the shop to the job. So a big part of what we do is moving around pallets, and not being able to access it through this tailgate sucks. So we can't move pallets around and take things out of it like that. It's really only a dump truck, which definitely sucks. I wish this thing came out like a barn door, but I do have 2 other 550s, so it's really not the end of the world. We'll go over to the cab. So it's kind of the quick things that I like and dislike on the outside here. Show you some things up. So what I like on the inside is I love these vents here. They throw out a lot of air. I believe these are like the mid 2000s like Ford cabs. I could be wrong, but these things throw a massive amount of air. So obviously when it's a really hot day, you want the AC roaring. It works wicked good. I really wish there was more cup holders in this. These are the only 2 that you have. There's not any down here, which definitely kind of sucks. This thing is incredibly bumpy to ride. Obviously I wish you know, there was a better, you know, maybe like a smaller touchscreen or something like that in here. This radio, I mean, it's not very good. It does have Bluetooth, which is obviously huge. You have the backup camera there, which is great. Believe it or not, the person that I did buy this from actually put a fucking subwoofer in this. So I'm not a rap person at all, but I will admit when I'm driving this thing, I do sometimes listen to rap just because of it has a fucking subwoofer in it, so it's pretty funny. It's usually pretty cool to show off too. Not one, but two sunglasses holders, which is really nice. Usually my trucks only have one, so actually that I do like that. I mean, that's about it. I don't think these seats are very good. So basically, the driver's seat that I'm in comes with an air ride seat, and it's not very comfortable. Like, I'm a tall guy, and my head is like here, and there's literally no headrest in these goddamn things. I don't know why they do it. I mean, the seats are all right. They're about as comfy as like my 550 seats, but they just don't have a damn headrest, which sucks. So I'm usually putting my head on a headrest when I drive. Obviously, you can put this up, and you can ride 3 wide in here. I've never rode 3 wide in here, but just in case someday you do. So the passenger seat does not come with an air ride seat. It's just a bench seat right here. And they say it's not that bad to drive in, but can't imagine it's very fun. This, like I said, this thing does ride incredibly rough. Probably about the same as a 550 as far as when it's empty. When I'm pulling the trailer fully loaded, it rides incredibly bad. Definitely the worst thing I've ever rode in, but it's a wicked heavy duty truck, and I didn't really obviously expect it to ride good. So obviously air brakes, obviously you get your trailer, you get your truck, you get your PTO. I'll lift this up for you right now. So yeah, I mean, obviously I get my PTO switch right here. I'll go up a little bit. I also have air tailgate, which is awesome. Had some gravel in there. That's probably a good thing I did that. All clear now. But yeah, about an 8-yard body when it's absolutely freighted. Obviously, I don't really like how it kind of slopes in like this. A lot of times, I've been getting a lot of dirt that sticks in there. It's kind of annoying. My 550s are completely flat, and nothing seems to stick in there really ever. This body seems to stick pretty hard, and obviously where the actual lift goes there. But yeah, as you can see, I mean, it's a very heavy-duty frame truck. Definitely ain't cheaply built. Haven't had any issues with this whatsoever, really. I'll open up the hood for you. So about the power in this, it is a beefed up power stroke. So I believe the horsepower is turned down, and there's more torque with this. Obviously, for pulling, you know, 8 yards of gravel, you're gonna want that. So power-wise, this truck does seem to do all right when it's at its payload. When I'm comparing it to a 550, the 550 will annihilate its payload. I mean, you can overfill that and not worry at all. This truck, not so much. The power's kind of lacking. I really wish they put a bigger engine in this. If they put a bigger engine in this, I really think it'd be a better truck. Obviously, when I'm completely overloaded, like 41,000 pounds, I mean, it doesn't necessarily like really struggle, but you gotta obviously, you gotta stay way behind people because the brakes aren't necessarily made for that much weight. And then definitely going up hills is with that much weight, being that much overloaded, definitely not made for it. But if you're, you know, following the laws and doing 33,000 pounds like you should, it's absolutely fine for that. So yeah, wicked easy to open hood. Pretty simple to get in there and fill stuff up. They did a pretty good job of that. Obviously, this stupid thing has DEF fluid too, like everything else. So obviously probably be problems with that down the road. I'm not gonna worry about that right now. So what's kind of nice about this truck for me is it's a capable truck of hauling, you know, like I said, 8 yards of gravel, but I can still sneak into those small little jobs. So obviously if I got like a 10-wheeler or a triaxle, with the amount of small jobs and small places that I work on, kind of would be useless. I mean, I could definitely still use a big truck, but I can still use this truck on the smallest jobs, which is really nice. I know I have a little tiny excavator. It can load the truck barely, but it can load it. And obviously my excavator wouldn't be able to load a 10-wheeler, so it's still small, but still also big enough to work on big jobs. That's why I kind of like it. So it's a 6-speed in this truck, and I do like the transmission, and I do like the gearing. It does have a Jake brake in it, and it is very hellacious. I had a Peterbilt before this, and the Jake brake literally didn't do anything. I mean, it was loud as hell, but it literally did not slow the truck down at all. I know when I hit that exhaust brake, this fucking truck will literally jerk me forward. That's how strong and powerful the Jake brake is. Which is really nice, obviously, when I have 2 skid steers in this truck and I'm at its max capacity. I turn that right on, and that helps me slow down very drastically. So I definitely like the gearing. I like the transmission in this. I'm not 100% sure how it's going to last, especially with how I'm going to treat this truck. Obviously, it's probably going to be overloaded quite a bit. So obviously, kind of nervous about that transmission, especially with this size of truck being automatic. A lot of people tell me, oh, that truck should be the manual and all that. I mean, and I would agree with that at first. I mean, a lot of times when I did first start using this truck, I did notice that, you know, the transmission was kind of all over the place. It would downshift when I wouldn't want it to. It would shift up a gear when I didn't want it to. It was like, so I was kind of like, God, I wish I had a manual transmission in this. But I will admit, now that I've learned, you know, just how to position my foot on the pedal, whether it's just touching it or they're pressing it down a lot, the transmission almost seems to have like learned my driving pattern now. I'm about 100% sure that they're actually made to do that. I know all the 350s are and stuff, but I'm pretty sure this truck is too. So I don't really have any issues, and I actually kind of like this automatic transmission now. But when I first started driving with this, I couldn't stand it. But I do believe that it's learned my driving pattern now, and it's pretty down packed and good. So yeah, other than that, that's about it. Comment anything down below if I missed anything or you got any questions. Thanks.